Hello, I am Cara Kensel. I have worked for 34 years teaching.
I'm Debbie Cool, and I've worked for Yorkville School District this is my 23rd year.
I have been working in District 115 for 21 years.
And then I came to Yorkville in 2013.
My first day here, I remember thinking I need to get out of this room because I was in the room next to the hot blacktop and the sun was beating in and everybody was outside screaming on the playground.
I just remember how everyone at the middle school was very warm and friendly. And I can remember Barb McCarty, who was the principal's secretary prior to me. She came over the first day and spent the entire day working with me and training me.
At Y115, I strolled into the old Yorkville Middle School, which used to be the old high school. And it was kind of strange because my husband went to school there. So I'm kind of thinking, what did he do in these hallways? What was it like back then? So I remember walking in and I was in the hallway and I was nervous. I was excited, but I was also nervous.
The district was very warm. The people were very, very nice. It was really kind of an exciting time because at that point in time, basically the top 4 administrators were all brand new to the district.
What I remember about District 115 was I came in and they had all hands-on science kits. So everything we did was hands-on, and I remember thinking, wow, this is the way to do it.
My proudest accomplishment, I think it would have to be the connections. The connections I made with my students, the connections I made with my team members, the connections I made with Mr. Bjork, obviously, for 19 years.
The proudest thing I brought to the district was automation in a lot of different areas, whether it was in the evaluation process or how we did staffing, how we did negotiations. It was fun to use my programming background in order to do that.
Probably my proudest and biggest accomplishment was when I was trained for reading recovery. There are very few teachers actually trained in reading recovery, and when I went to reading recovery, I found I could teach anybody to read. I taught a girl who only spoke Telugu to read in 18 weeks. It was great. So then when I was done with reading recovery and they brought me back to 2nd grade, I was able to use all of those strategies. It was amazing.
I think it would be starting the HR department with Frank Bogner. Things have changed over the years. New ideas, new programs, but I feel very fortunate that we were the founding of the HR department here.
Be calm in front of other people when they're obviously going through stress. You can help to de-escalate the situation and help those people out. So it's mostly just to slow down and calm down.
What I've learned, I think, is to have patience, is to listen.
I think one thing that I have observed is that there are a lot of times when people come in and they immediately have their paperwork or they get it right away. And I think they are the ones that seem to succeed.
But mostly just to listen. When I was a young teacher, didn't listen as much, chop, 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 this was the way it is. And then you learn, they have lives outside of school and problems that go on. Just a little more understanding and just compassion, I guess. But I suppose just, I would have lots of fun with the kids. I'd probably pull out all the fraction games and all the just say no games and this, that, and the other, and just have a fun day with the kids.
I'd probably just as soon get together with half a dozen people that I feel fairly close to in the district and have a beer at the end of the day and drive away.
But on my last day, I just kind of want to be with the kids, you know, have my laughs, say my goodbyes, and just walk out the door and just have some great memories.
I'm just going to have fun with everybody. just have a good time, and then when 3:30 hits, I just want to be out the door, go home, start the new chapter of my life. I am going to travel. I am going to spend more time with my family. I have a daughter in Virginia that I don't get, and 2 grandkids, and son-in-law. I don't get to see them very often.
I'm just going to do yoga, work out, garden, just things around the house. Pretty much nothing. I'm going to do nothing.
My daughter Hannah, who also went to school here, she is a new mom. She had a little baby in November. I plan on going to visit them as much as I can.
Well, I love the Rocky Mountain region, whether it's Utah, Colorado, Montana, Wyoming. I love that whole area. So I want to get out there more, do a lot of hiking. I plan on getting a motorcycle while I'm out there so I can ride some of the trails and some of the peaks. But I'm also an avid woodworker. I build furniture, and I'm really looking forward to building more custom furniture.
I have many projects that I want to do at home. We're in the process of selling our home, so within the next couple years we're going to be doing that. So I'm looking forward to moving and decorating the new home. I love to read. I'm going to spend my time reading many books. And finally, I want to give back to the community. I want to volunteer.
Maybe do some more cruises, do some more knitting. I've got a lot of little projects that I want to do.
I can't decide if I'm going to be happy or sad. Probably a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both.
It's okay to let it go. It's time. There's other things in store for me ahead, and I'm looking forward to those days.
Well, it's really hard for me to actually imagine my last day, because even though I've taught 34 years, it feels like my 10th year. I still can't believe it's 34, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, it's been 34 years.
I still have half a dozen not so kids anymore. Now have families and what have you. Still reach out to me, communicate to me through Instagram or Facebook, and every once in a while, if they come in town, I get a phone call. And I think that's really what it's about.
This year I've been e-learning. What I'm going to do, and what's going to leave me with a great feeling, I think, is I'm going to do a series of home visits. So 1 or 2 days where I actually, for the most part, some of these kids see them for the first time this year in person.
Trying to get things a little more organized for the next person to come. I realized that I was kind of cluttering, and there was a lot of things that I didn't need to be keeping anymore. So, you know, that's gone. So, you know, they can start their own clutter now.
I just want people to think of me as being fair, being helpful. And as you know, and a lot of people around here know, I'm a bit of a prankster. I like to have fun. I think it's important to have fun in the workplace. Even though for a lot of people I come off as a stuffed shirt, you know, so. Anyway, that's what I want to be remembered by.
I hope that they can remember that I worked hard at working with my students and working along with the teachers. I hope that they can look back and say, wow, I remember some of the great times that I had with her in the classroom and how she impacted maybe a student here or there. I hope that they can look back on my legacy and smile.
I help people solve problems, and I look and look and look. I'll lay awake at night texting them, hey, I thought of a solution. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, why are you texting me? So that's my legacy, I think. Be a problem solver, help people.
I like having fun, and I don't like everything being serious all the time. So I think that's more than anything, is just, I want them to miss me because I was fun.
Sometimes I would go past schools and think, there's so many teachers out there that want a job. I got picked. I get to do it. Almost makes me want to cry, because how awesome that I got chosen to do that.
Teaching's been my life. The kids that struggle, I relate so well to that because of my son. I'm gonna miss it.
Teaching is probably the only profession that you can really leave a legacy, because when you leave your imprint on our children, positive imprint, it's everlasting.
And I'm thankful and grateful for the life that I've been given. It's been a wonderful ride.